grapes. The grapes have done amazing this year. A little bit on the small side. One of the earliest tricks I was taught is to always plant green grapes at the same time that you plant your purple or red grapes. And the birds, as you can see, will concentrate on the purple and black grapes, and they will not touch any of your green grapes. So you get to eat as many green grapes as you want because the birds do not realize, or at least it appears that the birds do not realize that the green grapes are actually ripe. So they only concentrate on the purple grapes or the black grapes. There's a little cool thing though, is this happens pretty much every time we do it every year. So we have some white-winged doves and some Arizona mourning doves that actually come in and they nest inside our grapevine. They seem to nest wherever the biggest grapes are at. I don't know if that's it just happens to be coincidence. I have no idea. So you see some of the grapes way up there. I'm gonna have to get a ladder if I can see because the sun's a little bit much. But our biggest green grapes, of course, are growing all the way up on the top. We'll have to get a ladder to get them. Yeah, so we have some birds nesting here. We have that one there, and then we have another bird nest. What was it that I seen that little guy at? It actually has a chicken there. I think it might be actually in the mulberry. Oh, yep, there she is. So you can kind of see. Actually, the chicken's gone. So we did have a morning dove baby that was in there. I can't see. Is she in there? Oh, where's the morning dove baby? Let's zoom up in there. See? So I see the glares at the bottom of my side of it. But yeah, we have the morning dove babies come in their nest. So that's one of the great things about the garden is you get to see a lot of baby birds everywhere. Down there in Arizona, we have tons and tons of lizards. So our backyard is filled with lizards, which really helps with the ants because we have a ton of figs, and the ants love the figs. And with the lizards around, they tend to do a really, really good job of keeping the ants down. That, and I'll actually come out and spread some of the Damascus earth. There's like a really big, there's a really big ant pile. So we got here, we got, there's actually a potted mulberry that I'm about to pull up because it grew into the ground. Mulberries are super easy cuttings to start. So we have mulberry here. I guess I might as well just give a little tour. So we have, backyard is a mess. I'm still getting everything kind of set the way I want, and I change my mind all the time. So just bear with me with the mess. So we have here is our panache, tiger panache fig. This one's about 2 years old, 2.5 years old. Gives you really jammy, strawberry jammy figs that are kind of yellow and green with stripes. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Really pretty figs. And it grows almost vertical, which is awesome. We live in an HOA, so we have a little itty bitty tiny backyard. Oh, there's one of our lizards right there. I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, way down there. That's one of our spiny lizards that are out here in Arizona. Then we, I'm gonna chase rabbits this whole video. I'm just let you know. Or squirrels. Well, rabbits and squirrels. We have rabbits too. The squirrels. And actually, there's one of them right there on the wall. You can see a big male spiny lizard right there chilling. You guys can see him in there. That's a little spiny lizard. They get about 6.5 inches long, 7 inches long. That's a trees. So tiger panache fig, easy to grow in Arizona, and we're actually in Coolidge, Arizona, so we're kind of in between 9A and 9B. So we definitely get much colder winters for sure. So we have the tiger panache, tons of figs every year. I cut this back pretty good last year just to kind of give me some space in here. And then right there in the back, you kind of see this is actually a chitupine bush. I think you can see one chitupine still back there. It's not getting as much sun as it needs, but it's a native chili plant here in Arizona and Sonora, Mexico. Really hot chili. You really only need probably like two or three of those dried. It's probably about 10 times what a jalapeno is. And then here, one of my favorite trees is the cocoa jujube. So it actually gives you little apple-like fruits called jujubes, but this one has a very strong coconut flavor. Sad thing is, I pulled out a Lang jujube just because it was kind of packed in this area, and these things have serious thorns on them. But it did not produce any fruit this year, so it says it does not need a pollinator. But from the look of it, I'm going to say it absolutely does need a pollinator. So I'll be picking up a little Lang jujube from probably Home Depot or something like that, and just plant it over here in this area. This used to be where my loquat was at. I bought a loquat, I think it was a big Jim loquat. It was doing amazing, but it was a grafted type, and the summer annihilated it. It completely destroyed it. And we have a little watermelon, gray watermelon, which is one of the best ones you can grow in Arizona. This thing's only been planted for about like a week, and it was like dying. I got it at Walmart for like, I think it was like $1.25 because it was dying out there. And you can see it's already grown probably about a good 6-7 feet. Really good watermelon. Seeded though. I'm not a big fan of seeded, but. And then we have a little garden bed here. We have some yellow striped tomatoes, some heirloom tomatoes, great for cuttings. So you can have continuous tomatoes forever, pretty much. This one right here is a fruit that a lot of people don't really know about, but it does amazing in Arizona, which is the white sapote. Man, amazing fruit. It tastes like a mix between like vanilla custard flan and a little bit of pineapple and like mango flavor. Amazing, super soft. One of my favorite fruits. And then we have, let's go back here. This is actually our Mexican cream guava. This guy's been in the ground for about 3 years. It got, we had an unusually cold winter, and it did not like the winter. So it died to about a foot within the ground, but you can see, let's step back here, you can see it's, I wish those were guavas, but they're not, they're yellow leaves. But it's probably about 4.5 feet tall that it grew back from about a foot and a half off the ground. We have here great shade trees. It's a ever-bearing mulberry. It's perfect if you're gonna do like a hedge along a wall. These guys grow about 8 to 10 feet in 1 year from about a foot cutting. They give you tons and tons of these little tiny mulberries, but they do stain. Hardcore staining and everything, and wherever the birds fly and poop, they leave mulberry stains. You know, but really, really good fruit. Small fruit though, which is much different than this guy here, which is our, if I can't even see him, back up. See if I can get him in frame. This, still can't tell. See if I can get a better view of it. But, so these are our Pakistan mulberries. They're probably about 13 feet tall, and that's kind of our primary tree we use to start building our microclimate here. These guys also grow vertical, and I really say if you guys do live in an area where you're in an HOA or have a really small backyard, definitely try to find the vertical plants if you're going to try to plant multiple plants in an area. They give you a really long purple fruit. For some reason in the Phoenix area, down here in Coolidge, most people for this year did not get a lot of mulberries. We had probably about 100 that were on the tree, but they just dried up and fell off. And I water heavy all of our plants, so I don't think it was a water issue. And then right here's another amazing one. This is actually our red guava, Malaysian red guava. This tree, when I bought it, was supposed to be one of the most sensitive trees, but it has done better than every other guava tree we have. And we have a ton of fruit. The winter did not even bother it at all, even though I did have it covered up, but you guys can see in there, we just have a ton of this red Malaysian guavas. And hands down, this is the best tasting guava, at least to me. This thing tastes like sherbet, sherbet guava ice cream. Man, it's amazing. Super sweet. I mean, it's like a strawberry cherry flavor on top of that guava. And then in here is just a bunch of kind of random plants that kind of saved from Lowe's and Home Depot. So we got some of the, what are those called? The Hawaiian ones. I always want to call them Jamaica, but they're not. They're the big, really good smelling flowers you get. They make leis, and not leis. I don't think what they make out of these things. But these things are amazing, super awesome. Really nice flowers. Keep them indoors in the wintertime. That's why they're still in smaller plants. They actually like the smaller plants from what I experienced. Or planters, smaller pots. They really have liked those smaller pots. And then we have grapevines going crazy everywhere, as I showed you. Lots of voluntary tomatoes. We don't even know what type of tomatoes they are. Figure I just let them grow and see what they are. I know one of these was a cherry tomato because, as you can see in there, we got some little tomatoes growing. I think it's cherry. Might even be a bigger one. I have no idea, but we got a bunch of them. I throw a lot of composting in here, and sometimes I'll get lazy and just actually throw the fruit scraps and vegetable scraps. I know they say it attracts bugs, but I said we got tons of lizards, so don't worry about the bugs. Snakes too. We get a lot of king snakes back here, so that's pretty awesome. And then you can see the grapevine growing on what used to be a moringa tree. I would say this is probably our 7th or 8th attempt at moringa. You can see how big the tree gets. I mean, this tree is, 10 foot tall. But every winter, this thing dies down all the way back down to the trunk. So I don't know if we'll keep doing that, because it sucks. I have to pull out this thing. The last 4 of them I had to pull out. The other ones are small enough. I just cut them down. I left this guy here because the grapevine was going on it. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then we have our Tikal guava. This is one of the best ones you can grow in Arizona for sure. It does really good with the cold. Cold doesn't seem to bother it. Grows really big yellow guava that are pink on the inside. Really good guava taste. Amazing. They're definitely bigger than the red Malaysians we saw over here. But red Malaysians do taste better. Bunch of random rose bushes that again kind of got from saving them from like Lowe's and Home Depot whenever they're kind of dying on sale. I don't like to pay full price for anything. This is our Hong Kong orchid that I thought had died. As you can see, the top is dead. Much more grapevines growing all over. So I was gonna take it out, but it had a really nice vine from our blueberry grapevine growing on it that was just wrapping around it, and I'm like, I'm gonna just let it grow and see if it comes back or not. My wife loves the Hong Kong orchid flowers. They permeate through the whole air, but they just don't do good in the winter here. The winter just kills them all the way back down to nothing. There was something else I had in here. Oh, I can show you guys this one too. This is a really good plant to grow in here as well. This is longevity spinach. You can see it's taken over this whole area. Dies back in the winter, but comes back. It comes back every spring. Really good. Has tons of health benefits to it. It like lowers cholesterol. It's got a ton of health benefits to it, and it tastes actually pretty decent. You can eat it raw. The leaves aren't like a real strong medicinal flavor or anything. They're just, I mean, it's medicinal, that's for sure. But it's not super strong. It's medicinal flavors. I'll show you guys. I'll try to bypass all the stuff all over the garden. No, cantaloupe too. One of the best summertime crops out here. We get tons and tons of cantaloupe. Let's see. Like I said, still working on the garden, getting it all set up. It's kind of one of our raised beds. See tons. Our 5-year-old son is autistic, level 3 autistic, so he doesn't do real good with new food items. Very picky. He's very picky on what he actually will eat. But one thing he will eat is garden tomatoes. He will come out here and pick every tomato if you let him. But we have our chocolate striped tomatoes, one of his favorites. We have our yellow bell tomatoes. You can see some back in there ripening up. And then we have, of course, our I think they're called 1000 or 100. It's kind of like a hybrid cherry tomato. It's doing really well. We also have some yellow globe or yellow sweet tomatoes. And then we have a bunch of peppers. These are all Anaheim. They had one that was mismarked as a orange snack pepper. I think someone might have did that on purpose. And you can see back in there. So you can see it a little bit, orange one right there. Yep, it's an orange snack pepper. That is a habanero. That is not an orange snap pepper. I can tell you that right now. That is not an orange snap pepper. That is a habanero. So I love spicy food, but I was expecting sweet and not. My mouth to be as if the burning ember of coal was put into it. And then it's our blackberry. These are our Apache thornless. Amazing blackberry if you can do in Arizona. I did plant at first a thorn variety. I never had blackberries my whole entire life. Planted the thorn one because one I just seen and got, and I learned blackberry thorns do not play. If you get a thorned variety of blackberry, you are going to give blood every time you pick a fruit. Every single time you are going to donate blood to that blackberry plant if it's thorn. I do have, and they're super difficult to get rid of once you plant them. I still have one area that has a thorn in there, and I've dug it up like 4 times, and I must be missing a root somewhere because it keeps coming back. But yeah, so the blackberries are awesome. These give us huge blackberries. Actually, you can kind of see it's flowering again. Well, you can see actual berries there, and then it's flowering down here. Loves the summer heat, but the berries don't last very long. Spring, they do amazing. But you can kind of see, we had so many of them that we ended up leaving them on. Oh, there's one right there. Let's see this guy. See what happens in the summertime here. They still get pretty big. You can kind of see this guy, but they get dry. So you can see this part right here is not really pleasing texture to the mouth. I mean, I'm still gonna eat it, but sometimes in the shade though, oh, there's a nice one. You can get some good ones on. There we go. I don't know if you guys can. So let's see if I can get that in there. Where's the little angle at? There we go. So not a giant one because it's in the shade, but it's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be juicy. Oh, there's those thorns, man. Look at the thorns on these things. Man, those things are needles. I mean, I've done landscaping and I've worked on, oh, you can see how juicy this guy is. Look at this guy. I mean, just completely juicy. That's juice, not blood. Now, the picture from the thorn area, that might be juice and blood. But this is just really juicy. Smaller. But really good. And you can see, this is really probably about double this size in the spring. So, really juicy. Oh man, that one was even sweeter than the first one. Man, that was good. That's really good. I think one reason why I like the mulberries better than the actual one. There's some more of the grapevine. One reason I like the mulberries better than the let's see, I might be able to show you guys kind of how do these Pakistans. So you see there's the house, and they're good 5 foot above the house. So huge trees. They're about, I cut them down every year. You kind of see where I cut them at. If you don't, they'll just continue to grow. So this is kind of where I cut them at last year. So everything above here is new growth. So you can see how much they grew. They grew 8 foot in a year, and then every year you just go up a little bit further so you can keep them lower. So that way you can actually pick the berries before the birds get them. Oh, but I like the mulberries better than the blackberries because of they don't have seeds. I hate seeds. I hate anything with seeds in it. You know, some people have that like thing where they don't like chicken bones, but man, I hate seeds. Little pond we built, natural pond area. Yeah, put it back up again. But we got our koi in there. Some koi. I did have some African cichlids in the house tank, and I changed it up for the kids. Put what it's called, guppies in there to give them a little bit more color and stuff. And they weren't as jumpy as the African cichlids were when the kids took the plant. But there's 2 African cichlids in there too that lasted the whole winter. It's a yellow lab, and I forget the kind of gray one or checker pattern. And then plus we got a little, I forget what these other guys are called. There's these big old red flowers. This whole area is shaded. Some more of the $1.50 shading plants to start the plant. Actually, oh, hibiscus. Man, we got, I think, 12 1-gallon hibiscus plants that were dying out at Tractor Supply, and we got them for $1. So I'm gonna plant them up. I'll probably resell them next year or something like that. And I'll show you guys this other little side real quick. And I gotta go to these home visits. More rose bushes. This is my wife's favorite. Big red rose bush. In the summertime, they tend to get burned up in Arizona, but what I found helps out a lot, so I just double up on the watering. And they tend to do a lot better. They still get burned up, but you can see, you know, in the shaded areas, these flowers get huge. I mean, that flower is probably 4 inches across. And alright, come on. Roses are a lot of work, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'll probably do more work on roses than anything else in this garden. And then this one is, man, champion fig. It's not champion, it's Olympian. But man, this thing produces so many figs. I mean, and it's a real peachy flavor. It's like a peach fig. And I'll show you, it's just, I mean, this thing produces hundreds and hundreds of figs. It's 3 years old too. Oh, here's a good one right here. Let's see, and the birds ain't even got to it. Birds get to these things so fast. Let me show you guys what kind of, cover the camera up there for a minute. Get a little bit better lighting for you guys, and I can show you when this one's not all the way ripe, and you can see like a little bit of the white coming out, but look inside this thing. I mean, this is midsummer too. So, I mean, look at that. Look at that fig, man. I mean, it's a nice fig. Jay Behringer, man, he's got some good figs. He had this one, I went and visited him a year ago or something, a couple years ago. He has this one I think he calls it watermelon fig. I want that one so bad, but haven't got it yet. But Olympian, that's a really good one. Produces twice. I think they're called Burger Crop is one of them, but it really produces all year for us. The only time it doesn't produce is when it kind of goes dormant in the wintertime. And then we have Florida Prince Peach. It's super good here in Arizona too. And this tree is a year old, and it produced like 90 fruit its first year. I thinned that down. I was supposed to take all of them off, but I didn't. I'll be honest, I did not do that. I wanted to at least try one, so I left like 10 on there. And man, they were so good, so juicy, so sweet. So yeah, Florida Prince, if you're gonna do a peach tree, this is probably the best one to do. This one, I completely forgot what this fig was called, but we are not keeping it. I'm gonna graft on 4 other varieties of fig to it. You can kind of see. What this fig does every year is it produces so many fruit. They all turn this yellow green, and I thought, well, maybe they're just small and they're ripe. But they are absolutely not ripe. They're so bitter. It's a really nice tree, but man, its fruit does not do well here for some reason. You know? Then we have this pineapple guava. It's 3 years old. It flowers every year. I eat the petals off it. The petals of the flower of this tree, pineapple guava, taste like juicy fruit bubblegum. It's amazing. No fruit though, but from everything I've watched, probably be another 2 years. We have another Apache thornless. You know, we planted right here. I just had an extra one. I just threw it somewhere. This one, I'll show you. This tree has got gigantic. This tree is 1.5 years old. You can see it's probably 1.5 feet shorter than the Pakistan. This was supposed to be a green, Australian green mulberry tree. I tasted those, they kind of taste like honeydew. That is not what it is, because as you can see, it has these little itty bitty black and, well, they start out red, but they turn black. Super sweet. I mean, looks like everbearing, but it's for sure not everbearing. I have no idea what it is, but it is not an everbearing, because everbearing does not grow like this. I mean, you can see how thick that trunk is. It does not grow like that. But it was supposed to be green. It's not a green. I thought it was dead, so the only thing I think happened is down here is that I thought it was dead for sure. Came back, and I'm thinking it might have been the graft on the bottom that actually came back. So I don't know if they grafted it onto, but it does not look like the everbearings we got here. We also have 3 varieties of pomegranates on the side. Kind of a jungle in here, you can't really get through, but actually I'll walk through there because I want to show you the pomelo. But this one right here, this is the wonderful pomegranate. My wife loves this thing. I have no idea why. These are rock hard, busted, and chip a tooth. If you're gonna eat one of these things without juice in it, I mean, it produces way better than all our other pomegranates, but seeds are ridiculous on this thing. Let's get on back in the jungle. This is the everbearing mulberry. Another one. It's been around about 2.5 years, and I trim it to the ground every year, and it grows about 10 foot every single year. Then we have here, these ones are the angel pomegranates. No joke, these ones taste like Hawaiian punch. Amazing, amazing pomegranate. Seed is like, you know, chewable. You know, there's a seed there, but it's chewable. It's not hard. It's just kind of, you know, there's a seed there. You know, it's kind of fibrous. But man, and of course, it's the best tasting one we have. And of course, it produces the least out of all the ones we have, but amazing, amazing. That's the angel. And I got to trim it up in here. This is, well, let me just get a better area. I'll fight through these thorns on this. Anybody who's ever had guys know these things got huge thorns. Oh my goodness. This guy here, you can't see, the sun's kind of bad, but is our Chandler pomelo. Give us gigantic pomelos last year. Gigantic. It's only been in the ground like 2 years. It needs protection in the winter though, for sure. And in the summertime, shaded. And then this pomegranate, that looks like it's part of the tree. Well, it's not. This is our, what's it called? It is giant purple kind of color. What is that one called? It's another one that everybody says is super good. And it's better the 3rd or 4th year. This will be the 3rd year, and it gives us tons. Doesn't give as much as the wonderful, but it gives close. And that is it's like a Russian name. I can't remember what it's called, but it is a Russian name. It might not even be Russian, but it sounds Russian. But you can see it gives us some giant pomegranates. One thing about pomegranates I learned is they like to grow as a bush. As you can see, it's all leaning over. It does not like to be stood up. It just kind of flops over and grows up from there. I can't remember what this one's called. It's kind of like a red wine flavor though. Oh man. Anybody knows, you can put in the comments. Let me know. I can't remember what it's called though. Man, I can't remember what it's called. I'll remember. I'll remember eventually. We got, of course, rosemary hedges, stuff like that. Wife uses that for the hair all the time. There's that fig again. You know, I'm about to eat it right now, see. Man, you do not need candy if you're going with figs, blackberries, mulberries. You do not need candy. That is so sweet. Like, it's like a peach covered in honey. Man, it's good. Lost a little garden tour. I try to come out and do videos 2 or 3 times a day. Show you guys the transformation. It is a mess right now. This area kind of put off, or kind of have everything blocked off where I want rocks to lay. I'm gonna do some concrete, like pebble rocks like this style. Takes forever, but you can do you just use little Ziploc bags and make little pebble stones, but I'm gonna do this whole area that way. It'll be a nice little walk path. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything, or if you guys have any ideas, you can let me know as well. But yeah, it's a little tour. Garden's a mess again, but work in progress. All right, see you guys later.